Oh man, it's early today, boys. It's okay.
Look at your eyes. Did you just yawn?
Yeah.
There's tears in them.
Tears of yawn. I used to be off the coffee, and then Jamie bought this thing. I was trying to get off. Remember when I was off the coffee, and then you bought this thing and then started making delicious coffee drinks? I use my favorite mug. Kid down there. Say hi. So, plan is today we have a few things to do. Things that we should have done weeks ago, months ago, whatever. The RSX, a couple little things with it. I need to hook up the speed sensor, make sure that's working, because that wouldn't be that great. Usually I let this thing steam to about 140 degrees. I feel like I should probably make a to-go coffee today, because I might not even be able to use my favorite cup. A little bit of a dirty truck day. Part of this unit up. It's weird. Once I did the push button start with here, I feel like it doesn't let it do the the glow plugs. So sometimes when it starts, it's like kind of mad. It's like bah, 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 and like smokes a little bit. Sometimes you get in and you push the button. Okay. Then it will do the thing. Sometimes you don't even have to push the brake and it'll just start. So kind of odd, but we're gonna back this unit out, let her warm up for a second. Coolant temp's at 61, so not terrible. This whole the whole interior swap, like I said, so much stuff works really well. You know, the radio, the freaking all that stuff. I need to rewire the seats because the seats are out of a 22, so the pinout is different for the heated seats and the cooled seats. So the heated seats don't work, the heated steering wheel doesn't work, because this has a different APIM module, which is basically the computer that controls a lot of the stuff. None of that stuff works. If I would have got everything out of an 18, or let's say this was started off as a Lariat and I put this 22 dash in here, everything would work perfect. But because I have an 18 and I put a 17 Lariat or a Platinum harness in it, then we had to change everything, like the wiring in the doors and the whole entire cab harness. And then now there's differences between the airbags, and there's differences between the ABS, and there's all these modules and these things that don't talk to each other correctly. Most everything just works fine, but everything else is just mad. I've debated on putting this thing back to stock. One thing that really bugs me, I'm a sucker for a trip meter, especially in these trucks. You know, you're driving it around, one tank you'll get freaking 10 miles a gallon because you're towing, and then the next tank you'll get freaking 18 because you're driving on the highway. Whereas right now, I haven't been able to reset the trip because this button on the steering wheel doesn't work. Which I think it's just the button, but the steering wheel is a steering wheel that is out of a Platinum with the lane keep assist. So it has a little electric motor that the steering wheel will stay here, but it will turn the shaft and steer you in your lane or whatever. So there's a big old electric motor. There's a big old thing sticking down on the bottom of the steering wheel, and because it's that, so I can't even replace the steering wheel with the wiring. And it has the cruise control where you go forward and back, and all of those buttons are on the steering wheel. Obviously same harness, same body control module, same everything, but no sensors to properly do that. So things just don't work. So I'm gonna double check another setting in the forescan with the cruise control, because there's a front cruise control and you can turn that stuff off. Click a button, click some buttons, see if anything works. Update. Nothing's changed. Sat in the driveway for probably 20 minutes messing with some settings on forescan. My buttons, obviously this is a CAN keyboard for Ford. It's the left button does left things, the right button does right things. Center, okay. You should be able to switch them. There's a setting in the steering column control module, because everything in here has a control module built into it. The gauge cluster isn't a gauge cluster, it's the instrument panel control module that happens to have a screen that displays your mileage. It's an interesting thing. These trucks are so smart. They're really good when everything works. When things don't work, which I think if like I said, if I had the right year of harness, they changed a lot of stuff from 17 to 18, and then even 18 and 19 are pretty much the same. But then if you do, actually, I don't know. I think, you know, my truck is an 18. I think I needed 18 stuff. I really like the aspect of the push button start. I think that's cool. I like the proximity sensors, like when you know, if you're holding a bunch of stuff, or you're holding a kid, and you just hit unlock the door with your hand, and then you can lock it, and you don't have to pull your key out of the pocket. You don't have to pull your key out of the pocket to put it in the ignition. It's pretty cool. But, you know, there's some drawbacks because the system doesn't work as it was, you know, designed to from the factory. So that's why, you know, like as cool as it is to have this beautiful screen that I'm looking at right now, it sucks that there's certain little tiny things that don't work, like your cruise control, or like right now my remote start stopped working. My headlights, like on these year truck, there's a low and a high, and they're both on at the same time because they're dual. It's basically a dual beam headlight, so there's two lows, and they're, you know, when you go like that, it goes low and high. Right now my lows are on, like the lower ones are on, but the upper ones aren't on. Weird. You know, and I don't know if that's because this truck was a halogen truck, but now it has an LED body control module. I've loaded the factory settings off of this truck into that body control module, then other stuff doesn't work. So the configuration that seems the most happy is the 17 Platinum configuration with a couple settings changed. Then proximity sensors work, push button start works, you know, like certain things work, but we still have, you know, like advanced track warning, hill descent control warning, ABS warning, freaking airbag warning, you know, like right now the traction control in the truck doesn't work. So we were driving around in the snow the other day, and it's just doing a burnout. Like I'm just trying to drive, and I look at the speedometer, and it's just like okay, that's not good. A little bit later of a start than I would have liked to today. It's like 11 o'clock. Getting ready to head to PRI, and Ben and Herman from Australia, Ben the owner of Artec Performance, and Herman the owner of Platinum Racing Products, they are coming to the United States to display stuff at PRI, which is in Indianapolis, and they're shipping me a bunch of stuff. And last year I went to PRI and went with them, and this year I am helping them display at PRI. So we have a couple engine stands at the shop we're going to get painted today. We bought 9 engine stands from Harbor Freight, so we're going to get those guys painted. Eric, which is the guy that was walking by that one day, we had him come and do some coilovers. At least in the video, that's how we made it seem. He got those things all prepped, and I'm trying to teach him a little bit more stuff. He's pretty good, you know, as far as mechanical stuff like that, but you know, he hasn't done a lot of it, you know, so he doesn't have like the experience where you could say, hey, go and paint those engine stands. So, you know, I've been showing him a lot of stuff. He's previously worked for a company doing like detailing, and then he did house painting, so he understands concepts of stuff. But I really want to, you know, been kind of taking the opportunity to teach him a lot of stuff, and you know, sometimes I don't have time to teach him, so I just kind of let him figure it out, or I tell him to go watch a YouTube video of it, which seems to work pretty good. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. So I'm gonna let him paint those engine stands today. I'll probably show him a little bit how to set up the gun, and then from there I'm gonna work on the RSX a little bit, trying to figure out the speedometer. There's just so much stuff that goes on in the day, and it's so stressful just trying to make a banger video, like, you know, that the whole entire world wants to watch. You know, an automotive video about how do you make a video that everybody wants to watch of building an RSX or an Evo. It's tough. How do you captivate millions of people? It's tough. How do you, I think it's easier to entertain and keep the attention of, let's say, 10,000 to 100,000 people doing something like this. So that's a little bit of, a little bit of the documentation. I feel like, obviously, I feel like I live somewhat of an interesting life. I'm an automotive YouTuber. I've been doing YouTube full time for 7 years. We have kids, have pretty much a wife, wife, a kids, 37 cars, a shop, employees, a paint booth, a dyno, a bunch of stuff. And, I've just been, I feel like I'm not even using like everything to its full potential because we're trying to make the automotive videos good. And then you're like, well, how do I make these automotive videos good? Well, we have a big shop, we have all of this stuff which costs a lot of money. How do you pay for that stuff? And then you end up not even being creative. Or let's say, for example, like the video that we uploaded on Motion Auto yesterday, it's kind of a style like this, but we would have never uploaded a video, like, at least in the current climate of what Motion Auto is. You guys wouldn't have ever seen that. That would have just been in the background. Like, that would have been something that we would have done and not filmed anything that day because it wasn't relevant. The giveaway car was done. It was supposed to be done 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then now it's kind of a back burner thing. Oh crap, now the guy's gonna be here. We got to button up these final things. So that's kind of what that was. But hopefully you guys enjoy it. We're almost at the shop now, so I'll catch up with you guys when we get inside. Hey again.
Eric's wanting to be a part of the video team.
I'm learning.
He went outside and filmed a reel by himself. He said, hey guys, it's Eric with Motion Auto. And right here we have a Subaru. Dude, it was a great video. But the audio was messed up, so we need another set of mics.
Charles is trying to spend my money, is what he's trying to do. If you guys haven't done that, you better do that.
20 times entries.
Eric, you know what I just realized? This morning, I was hungry. And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, man, what am I gonna eat for lunch today at the shop? Remember what I did yesterday?
Chicken nuggets. And you didn't eat them. And you left them in there, didn't you?
So, spray bake booth. Oh my goodness, it is nice in here. So these are the Harbor Freight engine stands that are getting painted today. And I'm gonna take these units to PRI. Hopefully they're nice. So Eric, you're gonna learn to spray today?
Put some pearl in there?
No. I mean, honestly, maybe we could put a little bit of pearl.
Blue pearl.
I bought the Subaru the other day. This is either going to be a flip or a part out. Nice. Charles's BMW over there. Charles worked on his car when I wasn't here, and he did the thing that I probably wouldn't have done. You know what you do with things before you cut them off?
You straighten them.
You straighten them.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that.
So, normally you'd be able to like straighten this out, maybe a little bit. So because you had some leverage, but instead of doing that,
that I was talking to Mick was that he said, as long as we have a parts car, it should be fine. I can cut right there on the parts car, weld plates on the inside, and then weld it together.
Is Mick a body guy? Is he a frame guy? Is he a
collision? I got impatient.
A collision BMW expert. Charles wanted to work on his car, so he didn't know what to do other than start cutting stuff.
So I don't think that I'm gonna probably stick with this car long term. I think this is probably going to be some sort of
donor
for another chassis, I think, because it's just too, I don't know, it's not me, motor and chassis, motor.
He's been flexing it on Instagram like it's him though.
What are you talking about?
You've been posting. You're like, my project car, I'm so stoked, and you teasing.
I post
every time.
I posted twice about it on the internet.
We just came out here right now, and you're like, oh, that BMW over there.
That BMW over there.
Check out my sick BMW over there. So it's him. It's you.
My first project car, sue me.
It's you. Finally, a little bit warmer today. What is the temp over here? 60
in here. That's nice. On the cold side.
How much paint are you ready to paint? Is this going to be your first time?
So much paint.
Painting with
professional Travi?
A regular paint gun?
Yes.
Like a normal one? So this guy right here, Eric.
Eric?
Did we record the conversation that we had yesterday about the interview process, how it should have included your project car?
I don't think so.
and whether it was reliable. I think that was an off-camera
reliable.
talk that we were talking about. So this guy right here, explain what you got going on at your house.
I got a supercar,
What kind of
super reliable,
starts in the cold?
daily.
Starts in the cold, doesn't leak. Immaculate paint job, right?
Oh my God.
is that what it is? So, come on, tell them the truth.
It's beautiful.
Tell them that. Well, I know it's beautiful. Why am I doing this?
You just
need to
won't
be doing
start.
this. You're supposed to be. I'm supposed to be the teacher. You are
Little cricket.
the learner.
Grasshopper.
Eric, right here. I have been teaching him a couple of things. I made him do a. Because I was testing him out, when he first came to the shop, I was like, I don't know what this freaking guy's capable of. Like, I know he can mount tires, right? Because that's what
Very quickly.
that's what mount tires quickly. That's right. Proficient at mounting tires, and couldn't get our balancer to work though. What was even that? And I was like, well, what is the ultimate test? I have this freaking 6-liter that's been sitting outside the shop for 2 years. What'd you do? Did you break it?
No,
So it's been sitting outside the shop for 2 years, and I was like, well, it needs a freaking oil cooler because it was leaking. Then it needed some other stuff, and we upgraded the standpipes, and it also needed a turbo up pipes. We kept the stock up pipes, so, right? Yeah, we kept the stock.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were going to put the aftermarket ones on, and we were
Just
like, well, the stock ones are good.
EGR
The
delete.
EGR, well, no. The EGR was leaking around there. There's a big exhaust leak, wouldn't make any boost. So, turbo off, intake manifold off, oil cooler replaced is what he did. And then, should we tell him what we did? Previously, we got the truck from the auction. It was a theft recovery. Somebody put water in it at one point in time. And then so that is why the oil cooler was actually bad, because it had a big bubble on it. The radiator was cracked. The thermostat housing was cracked. And there was the
Everything was cracked.
freeze plugs pushed out of the block. So he's kind of a 6-liter guy now. So normally with this thing, I turn it around where you could see the gauge. So when you pull the trigger, you go, and you could see it.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we're gonna show Eric how to paint. I didn't know you were a paint sniffer.
Big paint sniffer.
Big paint sniffer. Eric has never painted anything. He rattle canned his supercar. Okay, which happens to be. Go ahead, tell us what it is.
A 95 Honda Civic. Single cam turbo.
Single cam turbo. He built the motor himself with some Speed Factory no notch rods. He's got a eBay turbo, a couple things on it, and so the cups that I used to mix are right there.
It's fancy.
And he rattle canned it how many times?
Several.
Several times. And what was the first color that you did with it?
Black.
And then what after that?
Oh God.
The blue,
No. Black.
the
Black, white,
the
mint.
mint.
Oh, it was
Mint, because
turquoise.
You watched some freaking Haggard Garage videos, and you said, you know what?
Very exciting.
You're like, I'm gonna pull out the rattle can. And if you guys know me, you know I'm not a big fan of rattle can. If you're gonna paint something, you know how much it sucks to paint a whole car. Your finger hurts.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and you have a fan that's this wide or a cone that's this wide, and you literally have to try to keep a wet edge going around the car.
I got pretty good.
The rattle can, which is great, because if he's good at painting a car with a rattle can, he's going to be amazing at painting one with a real gun. Because when you're painting with this thing, guess what? The fan is this wide, this tall. So you could keep that wet edge. You could paint a fender like this. Fender's painted versus
For an
like
hour.
literally like 20 minutes, and then by the time you get to the door or the fender or the hood, you get dry edges, wet edges. Well, you don't have any wet edges. It's all dry. Then you could see the tiger stripes and the line.
Tiger stripes.
Whereas if you get one of these guys, you just spray it. So you're going to be, if you're good at rattle can, you're going to be amazing at painting.
Professional.
So there you go. So 15 to 1, right? Mix it up. That one. Let's grab it. Pour it in there. Let's see how it goes. And just fill it up to that 15 right there. At the top. Then we'll do 1 and then we'll do 2. All right. We're going to get dirt in the paint. Oh, that's
No dirt in the paint.
that looks beautiful, right?
I like the color. That's my face.
Let's just bring the Civic over here. Grab the DA.
What?
Some 220 grit.
Yeah.
Go out there and sand it for a day, and then we'll freaking spray it in this.
I think like 3 days.
3 days?
It's a lot of paint.
What, to paint that thing?
It's a lot of Rust-Oleum.
So with this paint, it's a ALK 200. It's a PPG product. It is a acrylic modified enamel. We are adding a hardener though. That's one of my main things that I like to do. Should we put a little pearl in it? You probably won't even be able to see it.
Everybody will be looking at the 2Js.
Yeah, but if we added like a smidge of pearl to it, that would be kind of cool. Right?
You got some?
I have a little that we might be able to wiggle in there. All right, so just add what you would assume to be a 1 on top of that.
Which would be your 1?
It's probably a little bit smaller than the 1, but go ahead. I mean, it doesn't need hardener, but adding hardener is good. So any hardener is better than no hardener, even if it's 75% hardener. I'm just doing this to be selfish, so that way I don't have to paint things. It's not because I want Eric to learn.
I'm enjoying.
I want him to learn, so I don't have to paint. Well, one of the things that it would be nice is if I didn't have to paint. Like, I like painting. That's one of my favorite parts of the whole thing. But like, if there's something that needs painted, it's like, hey, go paint that. So that way I don't have to. That way, just progress can be made.
It's very time consuming.
Because the Evo, it literally was in the paint booth for 2 weeks. Ready to spray, and I just didn't have time to do it. But I didn't trust you to paint it yet. So I mean, that's where we're working on it. All right, hurry up. This clip is running too long. These guys are gonna quit on us.
There's never long.
So Eric was asking if this is like a Mako paint job type of stuff. But I don't know. I've never worked in a Mako. I've never had anything done there. I'm assuming that this is what they would do, would be like a simple, cheap, single stage, 1 to 2 coats. They literally wash the car with a scuff pad, so like instead of using a wash mitt and soap, they would use like dish soap in one of these and wash the car. And then literally they don't take anything off. They mask everything. They roll it in the booth and spray it. As far as I know though, Mako is considered it's a body shop, but that is their $5.99 special. You're not going to freaking get a show quality paint job for $599. Like if you prepped the car 100% yourself, took them your paint and said, spray this for me, it would probably turn out really good because those guys are probably amazing painters because all they do is paint.
Yeah, you get a couple knocked out in a day.
So, and that's the thing is, how do you become an amazing painter? Probably just a lot of painting, And again, I don't think that they do necessarily bad work, but all Makos or even body shops are all independent to a certain degree because there's different managers, there's different techs, there's different whatever, there's different processes, there's things that people let skimp and slide. But yeah, nobody's ever gonna. You shouldn't expect a $10,000 paint job. Like if I was gonna paint any car for anybody, I've had a lot of people ask me like, oh, how much to paint my car? A lot of it really depends, and like. I'd be like, oh, I'll charge you, $6,000 to paint your car, and you bring me a freaking rusted out 1970s Chevelle, and you want to take it to SEMA, like that's not going to happen. That's going to be like a $40,000 to $60,000 job. Or if you have a car that literally just needs sprayed, freaking whatever, like then it might not. So I've talked about like doing customer stuff. I don't know. So
gotta find some prices and.
Well, and the crazy thing too is like body work, like a body tech or paint and body, like they pay $60 an hour. Like a shop will charge $60 an hour, whereas a mechanic, a shop will charge $120 an hour. But I feel like paint and body is almost to a certain degree more complicated in some aspects than it is to do that. But who knows? It depends if you're
for time. If you could find customers that, like you said, do the prep work beforehand, so you just got to come here and spray.
That's a tough thing, though, because then if they do shitty body work and then I put my paint on it, I put my name, oh, Trev painted that, over their shitty body work or whatever, then it makes me look bad. And I think that's probably my limiting factor of like me. Like I would almost, if somebody wanted me to paint their car or something, I'd be like, this is the hourly rate. I'm going to charge you once a week at the end of every week. If you pay, we'll keep working. If you don't pay, we're going to put you to the back of the line, you know, like type of thing. And I've heard of shops that do that. But like, I feel like in a paint job scenario, I would screw myself because I wouldn't be willing to let something slide than get put out like a shitty product. You know, if you're like, give somebody like a $3,000 paint job or something, which I probably wouldn't even paint a car for like less than 5 or 6, you know. But like you give somebody that paint job and then all of a sudden you just end up putting in an extra 20 or 30 hours into it because, you know, because you couldn't let something slide. You can go faster than that. Just make sure you don't overflow it. So look at the bottom.
Yeah, gotcha.
You can probably start with that and then we'll just throw that filter back in there, like on the top of that. So it's kind of, you know, acts as like a baby lid. And then we'll just fill it up. It's done. Well, I'll show you a little bit where I can talk and you can hear me. Let's kick that on and then pull the guy out. Look, we got some extra lights right here too. Custom, right? All right. Show you guys a little bit on setting up a paint gun. See how long it takes?
Yeah.
To like, so if you go out, that'll give you more. It's just the flow, you know, like the volume of it. And go a little bit closer too. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So I'd probably start off a little bit soft, and then if you do this one right here, let's say if you twist that all the way in, look at that. We got the fire hose, which is nice. That's your typical rattle can. So like normally you'll do that if like you're trying to get in like a far away area.
Yeah.
You'll kind of crank that in. But then you got to be careful with that too, because there's all of that paint, instead of it being distributed through that big of a thing, it's going right there. So a lot of times if you're going to do that, I would turn the needle, you know, the flow down.
Less paint.
That way, you know. And then you could even play with it when you're doing it. So you go like right here, you're like, okay, I want more. All right, that looks good. You know, and so normally, like I would set it up probably about halfway, like right there. So you can see. So and then you're kind of constantly almost adjusting it as you're painting, because
That's what you want though, right?
well, it depends on what you're doing. Because if you go completely wide on this thing, go all the way out, let's see how big this gets. Like, so that is like almost what you want when you're painting a car, but these are engine stands, so you almost kind of want to dial it in a little bit, and a lot of that is just feel, you know. It's all the way tight right now. I'm just going to let you set it up how you want to set it up. Yeah, squeeze it. And then if you want the fan, adjust the fan on the side. It's on the, yep. What do you think?
Almost there.
You could be aggressive with it too. You could turn it out, but then now you see how when it's going wide, you don't have enough paint to keep up with it. So now you got to, you know, you got to bring out the. I mean, a lot of it is just feeling, you know, like. All right, you ready to paint some engine stands? Go ahead. Or do you want to watch me paint one and then?
Yeah, would you watch it?
The air pressure kind of changes things too. I'm just kind of going off of feel, but you know, kind of the thing that you're going to do now is, you know, just get all of the areas. And so it seems like it's a little dry, almost. See, it almost looks like it wants to run. It is a thicker paint.
compared to that tarmac. Yeah, but you want to kind of see like how that's kind of wetted out and how this is almost looks a little bit drier.
Yeah.
So you almost want to, you know, you want to get it to that point without running it. You know, that's the, and then also like in these tight areas, you know, you got to be careful because if you just go and fire hose it in there, it's gonna run. And then you got to get the bottom too. You know, that's a. And you can even twist the fan sideways too, so that way it's, you know, it's horizontal now. So that way you're not constantly twisting the gun, and then I might twist it back like for the top. But I think we should be okay with one coat on these guys. You think so?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, and then even now, it looks like it evened out pretty good. One concern that I have is I want to make sure that we get the bottom really good, but not like run it, because the bottoms of these are probably going to be, you know, on the top where everybody's going to be walking around and looking at them. So we don't want them to, we want them to be nice, you know. And then you see like right here on that edge, I missed that spot.
Yeah. That right here.
And you could just twist that, it's loose enough. Hopefully you got to loosen that a little bit, and then you can kind of, but yeah, if you just play with it and see what you think. This is a great, this is a lot of engine stands to, you know, test on, but
Right out side to side.
right now it's vertical.
Oh, then.
I'd probably switch it to horizontal, and then you can kind of go up and down with it. Did these need a first tacky coat? I think we'll probably build it. If you could coat it like I did that one, I think we should be good with one.
Okay.
All right, boys. So I was gonna work on the all-wheel drive RSX, but we need to put that back on the lift and do a couple things with it tomorrow. We're giving away this Evo wagon. It's not Evo wagon. We're giving away the Evo, and
Should give away the Evo wagon.
we could give away an Evo wagon, but I don't really think I want to give that guy away yet. I mean, look at that thing. That's just a nice unit. The giveaway Evo 9. This thing's really clean. It drives good. Makes like 400 and some horsepower. But it's black. So, you know, one of the things that we do with the giveaways is we run ads on Facebook. So we actually need to go film some more ads because we switched to a 20 times promotion, and it's a dark car. So at night, it's not really that flashy at night. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw some of this low glow on here, which is, it just goes, I don't know. It's gonna make it look like you got the rainbow thing on Mario Kart where you're like, and like all the colors like do the stuff, and it's sequential, it's cool, you could change everything, and it's really sick. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the 4-post lift because it's easy to drive on there, and then stick the load and glow on it. And then I think we're gonna go shoot some ads tonight with me and Charles. So now it's on the lift. Obviously, we're just gonna stick this thing on. What do you think of that? Look at it.
It's awesome.
So this is how they represent it. Is like it's a forklift, but it looks like Mario Kart in a freaking lawnmower with a turbo. But if you haven't seen this stuff, like it's kind of like a TikTok trend. But I think it's gonna make this car stand out really good at night. Honestly, we ordered this kit for the RSX, but we just didn't have time to install, and it just works out perfect that we got the Evo. That's now the next one. So I think the Supra needs one too. All right, so front. So what you do with this, does it have instructions?
Side, rear.
2 front strips, 2 side strips, 2 rear strips, and 4 extension cables and a cut extension, a Y splitter, switch, relay harness, Bluetooth controller, adhesion mounting tabs, and zip ties. I'm excited about this. Like, this is one of those mods where like I've held off and never done this ever. And then now we just get to do it. But take a look at this. That's it. Looks like we're freaking playing Mario Kart. We got it in the back too. Oh yeah. That's cool. You know what we gotta do now? We gotta turn off the lights. Look at that. How cool is that? That does look like I think almost like having a higher, it gives it more light, but you don't see the lines like cruising back and forth. That's freaking sick. So now everything is installed. We did a quick little wire zip tie mess up under there. I'm gonna go ahead and drive this thing home for the night and see how it cruises. It's such a good Evo. I'm just curious to see how it looks outside, just kind of, you know, with the headlights and everything on. So you go and hold this thing up and pull her out. That's safe. I don't know what my favorite setting is now. Let's go. All right, I'm gonna cruise this thing home and we're gonna go film some ads in the cold, in the ice cold. All right, cruising the Evo home. This car just cruises so freaking nice down the road. Car cruises nice. It's got the DEFI gauges. I feel like the oil pressure and the exhaust temp, like the oil pressure sensors, like never end up working in them after a while, but yeah, this thing cruises so nice. It's smooth, it's quiet, it's like, it's rowdy when you want it to be, and overall it's just a freaking sick car, and somebody's gonna be super stoked to win this thing. I know I would be. So, cruising home, eat dinner with the family, and then me and Charles are gonna go find a parking garage or two, shoot just some like reels content and some other stuff to just kind of try to promote the giveaway a little bit more, maybe some new ads, maybe some new pictures, you know, just stuff like that. So so I made it home, pulled it in the garage. That's all the Artec stuff. Keep eye, pull out the phone, click the button. Well, look at this. I'm gonna see what the girls think. Kids! Oh, thank you. Hi. Hey, come look at the rainbow on my car. Come see. Jamie, come see. Come see. Oh, sorry. Yeah, come this way. You ready?
Yeah.
You are?
I have socks on.
Oh, you have socks on? Cool.
I'm gonna get them too. Whoa. It's so cool. And how did you do that?
We put some new lights under it, and then look at this thing. We got this. We could change the modes of it. So we could change it to, we can make it do that.
That's so cool, Daddy. Carson, favorite color?
Yeah.
I can see you do that.
Look at that. You like that one?
My favorite color is purple.
You like that? That is pretty cool.
Blue.
But, and then look at it. It goes from the front. They're all like connected. So like, if it starts out blue right here or red, like it follows the, so it goes yellow and then it goes around to the back. Like it's like, it'll, you know, give it a white and then purple, and it goes all the way around, and it's symmetrical side to side.
And then your favorite?
Look, now it goes from like the back to the front. That's crazy.
So cool. Yummy, see what's color? That color.
That one?
Not that one.
How about that color?
No. This color.
Okay. You like that?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right, dinner has been had, and we're gonna go for a little cruise. Go shoot some videos of this thing. Picked up Charles.
Oh, this thing doesn't have any sat.
You have to, yeah, it's. We need to get a smaller vlog camera. Right now we're on the A7S3 with a Sony G Master 16 to 35 with like actual glass. It's heavy. Like it's
Very heavy. This G Master is a big boy.
Yeah, I mean the camera isn't that big of a deal. It's the lens. That's it. So
No.
yeah, cruising over. It's uneventful. Just a nice cruiser. Does this thing look dirty?
I don't think so. I mean, I'll be able to tell in the direct light.
You will?
Yeah.
Because the question is do we now go? Oh my God. Do we go wash it? But it's 32 degrees. So like, is it gonna freeze? You know?
Yeah. This thing's so good.
Boost weather.
It is definitely boost weather.
Nice unit. So yeah, I don't know. The lights are good. The girls liked the lights. I took them out in the garage and they
Nice.
loved it. And Kenzie's like, oh, that's my favorite one. Oh, that's my favorite one. Oh, that's my favorite one. But there's 200 modes,
That's great.
which is crazy because I think 100 modes go backwards and then 100 modes go forwards.
Wow.
So you could have it go from the front to the back, or you could have it go from the back to the
So
front.
you want in video rollers, you want it front to back, because
Yeah.
then it makes it seem like it's just freaking moving.
like you're just cruising, yeah.
Yeah. They're still on right now.
No, I turned them off.
Oh.
Well, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. It is cool though, because you could do yellow that goes like,
Oh, like crawling?
yeah.
That'd be kind of cool, because that's legal.
And then there's other ones that.
Dude, you should do that. You should do that.
I will, but I want to. We should have done that before we left,
Yeah.
because I can't see it right now, and then I want to be messing with it on my phone.
Yeah.
We'll stop at the. I don't know. Do you think we should stop at the car wash
Gas station.
and see
I need a gas station for photos.
which one?
I don't know. One with good lighting.
I'm trying to think, because like there's a car wash on the way to the parking garage right now, but that's. I guess we could stop at the gas station. It's just a regular.
Do you have waterless wash with you?
I brought some.
And you had a rag?
I got rags.
I think we're good then.
I just don't want to touch it. It's nice paint.
It's brand new paint. Tarmac
Nice
black, baby.
paint. Local car wash spot. That looks so freaking cool.
I think we're leaving it on, and this looks so cool. We're gonna leave this on and we'll drive down the road. You know, amber lights, you can't get pulled over for that, but that just looks so sick.
Charles out filming the stuff.
Grab some photos real quick.
How chilly are you?
It's actually not bad downtown. Whoa, 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 whoa.
What?
The lights.
Oh, over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're having a fit.
Jolly old time.
Car looks cool here. This is a call it Neon Alley. It's pretty rad. We just shot some photos down in here, and then now we got this guy right here. That does look cool. Cool shot. We got a picture of the Supra here too. Made it home with the Evo. Man, it reminds me of my black Evo that I originally built on the channel, or on Motion Auto, in 2014, and never really got to enjoy that car and drive it around and do much stuff with it. So stoked that this one is kind of like another version of that. And I was telling Charles, I almost wish this was how my wagon was. My wagon, I feel like it's a little too high strung and a little bit sensitive and a little bit crazy, because sometimes it just doesn't work right. Whereas this thing, I feel like it's like reliable. You can hop in it. It's a daily. So if you haven't got entered, link in the description. But appreciate you guys watching these vlogs. Sorry if this one was a little bit long, but just trying to get in the swing of things. Let me know what you think of the feedback and what you think of this, I guess, format in general. Appreciate you guys watching. See you later.